Today we have with us a young, vibrant actor, producer, and a creative force, a name that needs no introduction. And she comes from a very illustrious family in the Telugu film industry, presenting Niharika Konidela. Welcome to DC Conversations, Niharika.
Thank you so much.
So, 10 years of in the film industry, 10 years of your production house, PMP. How do you feel?
Um, Great. I mean, uh, yeah, just to keep it compact, I feel very great and I feel I'm doing something right and I just want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Considering you're one of the youngest producers, I think, in the Telugu film industry. You started at 21, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So you're acting.
I mean, I didn't do films at 21, but yeah, I started production at 21.
That's a very young age.
Yeah.
So tell us about this journey. I mean, production has a lot of risk involved. It involves money.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this? What made you take up this thing?
See, initially when I started with the YouTube series, because there was no OTT for me to do series in, that time it was pure enthusiasm that I was riding on. Like, I want to do something like a fun character and I want to do it. So then I wrote it. Me and my friend, we wrote it and then we developed it further and we're like, it's so good, we should do it. Because there have been Hindi web series by then that came out on YouTube. And later, when they said, "Oh, we need money to do this," and I said, "I have some money saved up. Let's just shoot like a short film, how people do." No, I didn't think about producing like I was producing money. I did not think. So then, when that happened, even when I named Pink Elephant Pictures, I was thinking I was merely just naming a YouTube channel. I didn't think I was making naming a production house. But I think in these 10 years, like there were a couple of things that I really still hold on to, like honesty and just being ethical.
I think Mudapappa Avka is the first Telugu web series.
Yes,
You have the credit to producing that.
Yeah, good.
That's a milestone in itself.
Proudly say that. Yeah. But even then, I was like, I knew I was doing something new. But I knew I was doing something interesting, and with the right promotion, which I did back then, I got like video bites from people who I knew and like some actors. Um, and I said, can you please give me a video bite? And this is the idea that we're thinking. And we got about 6, 7 bites saying, oh, I don't know what this is. I don't know what is coming up. And we sort of just piqued interest towards what it was. And all of that, what I did then, no, I still do.
You continue that same thing because I think you're promoting your films by yourself. The Kamati Kurralu, I think that was your major step into regular feature film.
Kamati Kurralu was my first feature film, obviously. But I honestly feel than making a film, than writing a film, than making a film, even a little bit than selling your film, I think to create interest, make your viewers as audience is the most difficult thing. Because we have so many distractions, we have so many other forms of entertainment and short entertainment, right? Like reels or whatever that you see, and also OTT, where like the world cinema is at your fingertips. In all of this, how do you stand out? How do you make one individual think, for this, I want to go to it, not let it come to, not wait for it to come to me. And it's very different and it keeps changing from movie to movie or like from time to time, it'll keep changing. Uh, that is why I think that is where I put most of my mind, most of my energy, to be honest.
It's a very creative process, I think, not just.
Yeah. It's not just statistics like, oh, this is what we did for our previous film, so let's just do the same thing. There are things that we would do similarly, but there are a lot of other things that we would do that are related to that particular film. Like this is a fantasy film, so there are other verticals that we want to touch in order to garner, get attention. Comedy was very different. It was full newbies. It was new. Everything was new. I was new. The director was new. Everyone was new. So I think to each their own.
Nice. I mean, it's won a lot of awards also. You were there at Goa for the IFFI, and I think you got enough recognition globally also with that film. I would say that's a step forward again
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes to Committee role.
It was a very, very pleasant experience for us. Uh, Till we went to IFFI and we were giving someone an interview on the last day of IFFI, we did not realize that it's the first time or one of like the very few times where a film has gotten into the competitive round that's been screened in IFFI. That is a first time producer, director, actor.
Yeah,
And
okay.
someone who was interviewing us was telling us this. I'm like, oh, we didn't know this. We could have like promoted it that way.
That could have been a USP by itself.
Yeah, US pencils, but we're like, okay, maybe it's go down in history. But IFFI was a very pleasant experience because our when we were screening our film, our theater was filled with like different ethnicities and people who like I think half of them did not follow Telugu, or half of them didn't know what the theme of our film was, like the cast and all. They didn't even know. So we went like in the beginning of the festival and we printed out uh, pamphlets about what our film was. We had cards about what our film was and what are the themes of it, and even for a like an international delegate to understand. And all of us, the director, me, my team, my actors, all of us went there like people in Amirpet and gave it to everyone, spoke to them for 1 2 minutes, and we called everyone to the theater, to the screen. And ours was one of the films that the screen was one of the Indian films where the theater was full, even without a celebrity like coming there, like a big celebrity
I
coming
think when
there.
it comes to content and good films, there is,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is always
yeah,
a
yeah,
audience for it. And I
yeah,
think film festivals always give you that
yeah.
sort of a promotion and
It was
because
very
yeah,
good, and also that was the most uh, like that theater, that screen that day where our film was screened had so much weightage to it because we made everyone sit in the judge's seat, and they're all film like enthusiasts or film professionals and people who know cinema. So it's not just people who are there to sit for entertainment. So we just had to get like 10 on 10 from everyone, right? So that was actually one of the most uh, tensed screenings that we've had.
any celebrity who had come and spoke to you about the film, who present at the film festival, any anecdote you'd like to share? I'm sure somebody who would have, or somebody big in the film industry because there were a lot of people there,
Yes,
right?
there was even before the screening happened, we had met him in the festival, and he spoke so much to us about. He read the pamphlet, and he was like, "Oh, this is about. It has such mature themes, like like reservation and caste and all of this." And he saw the poster, and he saw, uh, the appreciation, the awards that we got till IFFI. He spoke a lot and he said, I will be there for your screening. I really want to come. And I really like how passionately you all know a film team comes in, gives their pamphlets, especially after the film is released and it's been a success. This is just an every like any other recognition where you come on the day of your screening and just say thank you so much. We love it, but you guys are here like 5 days before the screening. What are you doing here? So then he said, no, I will come. Then he saw the film and he really appreciated it. And coming from a person who's, and Swadesh is a great film, right? Who's written a film like that, and he wrote other films also. We just felt very validated as a film team. He said you've dealt with it very mature. And there were a lot of, I mean, as a film celebrity, it was him. There were other political people who were there who also really highly appreciated it.
Now it's a cliche to say that films run in your family. I mean, it's something that's known. Your uncles, your dad, and your siblings, your cousins, they're all into films. So, but when it comes to production, you were, I think, the first to sort of, I mean, your dad was the first
Yeah,
person to get
yeah.
into production. So, does he still give you any advice? Do you look up to him for any, sort of advice, or does he also support you in your film production, or it's
Of
just you
course.
completely?
I mean,
Decision making is all yours.
emotional support. Yeah, decision making is
Is all
still
yours.
mine. I definitely go to my dad for a lot of things, and script is also one such thing. Like I ask, like if I need a second opinion, the first person I would take it to is my dad. Okay. Depending on what the genre is. Comedy, I took it to my dad. RaaKaaSaa, I did not need because it's a very young theme, like young story. So I was like, I think I'm a good judge for this. Um, and then uh, no, I don't go. I mean, conversations I have with my dad, advice my dad doesn't give. It's like, you know what you're doing. It's okay.
I think he has his plate full with his political
Yeah, with
schedule
this
as an
political
MLC.
schedule, yeah. And even on a very lighter note, my dad keeps saying, "You're a better producer."
That's nice.
And that means a lot to me because my dad did some really fine films.
Yeah.
For his first film as a production, to judge a film like Rudraveena and to bring
An
it
award-winning film again.
4 national awards. And so much appreciation. Even now, when I watch Rudraveena, when I know some people have just recently watched it, they're like, how did someone think of a story like that back in the day? And like, there are some scenes in Rudraveena and like some crazy performance by uh, my
Chiranjeevi
uncle
garu.
and Jemina Garu. It's a fantastic film. So I keep asking, like, how did you just think it was a great story? How did you like not get scared of how heavy it was on?
And it's not the typical formula film where
Yeah,
Chiranjeevi
and
garu
it
is
was very
portrayed.
different. Chintu Daddy used to do. He's like, Balchandra Garu, it'll be a dream for anyone to work with him, and we just trusted him. Even to trust a director, even a big director, you need to have some sense of grounding, saying, okay, this is what I want to do. Kada. So in now those ways, I really look up to him, and he's done like one super commercial film like Bhagar Bhagnara. And I love my dad's funny bones, right? He's quite hilarious.
I think he knows where to,
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes to acting, they have tried everything. So this is like, making them feel good about doing a film like that. It gives them that
yeah, yeah.
happiness of doing
So
that.
that is why I keep talking to my dad. Tells me a lot of stories about film back in the day, and those I also take some lessons from that. I also can I get amused by uh, the polarity of how it was then and how it is now.
Formula based to now, it's completely changed. Content is king now, and
Yeah.
and from Comedy Kurala, which is about a very serious topic, you've just jumped into a horror com film.
It's a fantasy comedy.
Sorry?
It's a fantasy comedy.
Okay, so you call it the fantasy comedy.
Yeah, there's no horror.
So please, we want to know more about RaaKaaSaa. It's I think one of those real fun films.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Santosh Shobhan is like,
Sangeet
I'm sorry, Sangeet Shobhan. He's a tremendous actor. We've seen him in Mad, and he's super funny.
Yeah, yeah. Sangeet is a very, very like a fantastic actor to collaborate with, and he really understands his character, and he's constantly with the director trying to understand what else to do and different permutations and combinations of expressions and dialogues, and he's a director's actor, and he's a dream to work with. And RaaKaaSaa is see, I make films um, that I would like to watch as an audience because I'm a very basic, like I'm a very regular audience. Like I don't sit in a movie and sit with an intention that I want to judge it. I would sit with an intention that for the next 2.5 hours or whatever hours, I am going to pause whatever's happening in my reality, no matter how good or bad, and fully get sucked into this world and just experience everything that they're trying to show me and come out with a good feeling that okay, it was good. It made me feel emotions, related to the characters. I like the characters, whatever. So that is the kind of films that I go to. And really, if I feel like some films, no matter how what the films that release, if me as an audience, if it didn't reach me, if their promotions didn't reach me, or if their trailer or teaser didn't make me feel like, oh my god, I want to go watch the film, I don't go watch the film. Sometimes I watch films because as a producer, I need to know what's happening around in the industry, and probably sometimes because they call me for premieres and all of that. But as a producer, or as no, as an audience, I feel like, okay, if this movie got my attention, I'm going to go, and that's the kind of film that I want to do.
So promotion plays a
huge
big
role.
strategy in your promotion of your film.
100%. When I listen to a story, when I decide that I want to go ahead with it, I have my own promotional plan in the head as to what's the story of this. And the same way when I heard RaaKaaSaa also, I was like again, like how you by mistake said horror comedy, or because it's the most common genre that we see. You see horror comedy and you see fantasy thrillers or fantasy dramas. You don't see fantasy comedy. We did see before, but it's been a while, and so it's not a very common genre in the recent past.
No, but we had the RaaKaaSaa.
It's a horror comedy.
So it's a horror comedy.
RaaKaaSaa was a horror comedy, right? There was Deyalu and all that. Was there not? Okay. RaaKaaSaa was a horror. I mean, they even when they promoted the film, they said it's a horror
comedy.
Fantasy is where there are more mythical elements than horror elements. It is definitely a horrific ride for Veeru the actor, Veeru the character, which is Sangeet's character in the film. But for me, it's more adventurous and more like, oh my god, what's going to happen? More thrilling and a lot of comedy.
So I think the teaser sort of gave that impression. I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, it's dark, it's mythical. Anything that we don't know fully of scares us.
Yeah.
So in that sense, if you want to call it a horror, then
this gets typecast like that as.
That's what I'm saying, because it gets typecasted. The only thing is, I don't want people to believe that there's going to be like extreme horror like Virupaksha, or like, I don't know what is another horror, Sinners or whatever, something like that.
That's a bit too serious actually.
Yeah, because it's not. The full, not even like Premakada Chitram. Deyalu is not my main theme of the film, right? Ghosts or souls is not my main theme of the film. But having said that, when I heard RaaKaaSaa, I was like, I would love to watch this film. The child in me, or even the if we like to see anything that same, the mythical, the fantasy of it that doesn't exist in our real life. I like to see it because it's a different world that you're taking me into.
Combined with comedy.
Exactly, and comedy is my favorite genre. So then I said, definitely I want to do this because I produced as a narrative to how I want to put out this. And I really trusted the team and the narration that they gave and how they sold the film to me. I was very impressed.
So you were talking about Mansa and women as you have no distinction.
So now collectively we have just a handful of women directors in our industry, and when we look at them, they're all very competent. They're all really good, creative people. Imagine now we are just bringing people into the circle just because we want to support women and not really see how good they are compared to the other big and good directors who are men. Then what will happen? We'll become the weaker gender in terms of even competence in the industry, rather to be have less quality but less quantity but high quality, rather than just dilute it just for the sole reason that we want to support women. So నేను చెప్తున్నట్టే, like how I was saying, creativity doesn't have gender. So I can't speak from that place because I am not a director. When I wanted to be a producer, not a single day I wanted to become a producer because there were less women producers in the industry. That was never my thought.
Coming to women producers, your cousin sisters also now entered, Sushmita, into film production.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a big budget production.
Yeah.
With Chiranjeevi Garu's Manashankara Varaprasad. So do you both exchange notes since you're the senior here?
Oh, no, I don't want to think of myself like that. Just because I started working early. But
On the lighter
yeah, we
side?
do talk. No, no, of course. Sometimes I don't mind giving. I'm joking.
Oh, that's a fair point. I mean,
No, Ante, it's just that, especially with my sister, she um, she's been my second mom since I was a kid. Like I've been very close with her.
okay.
Except for a few years where she lived elsewhere. I was really, really close to her, and I have no filter when I talk to her, right? I don't have fear of judgment or anything. Because even in family, sometimes we do. But with her, I don't. And when she started the production, like with OTT, I was very happy because I had so much that I wanted to share with her as to how things work here. So during that time, I used to tell her a lot, like, Niharika, this is how it happens. Don't trust that person. That person's not right. This, that, everything. I used to tell her a lot. But just to see her work ethic now and what a great producer and how she's handling the film, it just makes me so proud. And uh, working with family is not easy. So in that sense, I take a lot of not easy in the sense not that they're difficult to work with. It's just that the line that we have to draw, no, especially with either a father or a brother or whatever. Okay, no, I'm the producer. Somewhere you should not let your relationship make the calls. You should be very, very strategic or the love towards the movie has is what has to be heard. So I think in that sense, I'm saying it's difficult more to work with family because you have like a high emotional bond with the person that you're working with. So in that sense, it really makes me very happy to see how gracefully she's handled like such a huge
film.
production and gave us such a entertaining film.
I mean, you've been asked this question many a times. When all of you get together, is it always about films? I mean, you turn your head right, it's your dad, your brother, Varun Tej. When you turn left, it's Chiranjeevi Garu and Ramcharan Garu.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you turn to the other side, you have Sai Varun Tej and
My
brother.
yeah.
So it's like films all across
It's
all.
not always. I mean, definitely that will be one check-in, like like what's happening, what's the next film, or whatever, whichever stage that film is. Like oh, the song was good, and appreciation. Like I said, that's something that we do without a filter in my house. We appreciate it regardless of, uh, and we're very straightforward with our uh, not feedback, with our reaction to the like something released and they're like yeah, it was good, it was very good, and when we hype them up, no, we hype them up too much. Right. So there we do talk about films, but that's not the main thing at all. We talk a lot of nonsense.
That's
Even
great.
everyone, even my dad talks a lot of nonsense.
No, I think now there's probably no time for that also, right? Your production house is, I think I perceive it as something which is very, very important for young filmmakers who are looking for opportunities and avenues to present their stories. So you meet a lot of writers, like you said, you've journeyed with Mansa for almost 4 5 years. So you haven't even met her till you actually, got the feeling that yeah, there is some story.
Yeah.
As a producer, as a person who runs a production house, how do you actually see content is king? It's always the king. The story is the king. So you listen to so many stories. How do you actually feel that this is really viable, and this actually can become a story? This is a long process involved for this.
Yeah.
A lot of time, a lot of understanding, and I think a lot of writers come from different areas and perspectives. Like Kamati Kurolu was a very serious topic, and so how do you actually look at it in the point of as a product producer that this film can be made or the story can be actually translated into a film or an OTT or a web series?
One very big part of how I select is my gut feel.
Okay.
I trust it a lot because Pink Elephant was my gut feeling. So I know that it's not going to wrong me. Secondly, um, even though there's some stories that come to us that are at a very early stage, How we see the potential, just because I see the potential doesn't mean it has to come out like that also, because the director has to be capable of seeing what I am able to see in the film, or it could be completely different. So it's just solely mm, gut feeling. And then the viability of it is comes later. After I like the story is when the viability of it comes.
Profits matter at the end of the day.
100%, 100%. Because just because I like the film, I'm not going to put exuberant amounts of money in it, which I'm not sure of if I would be able to sell it or make that money, because I would, as much as I want to be a good, reliable producer, I also want to be a successful producer, because only then I'll be able to make films with other newcomers or other directors in the future, right? Um, and there are some films that came to us where the story was good, but the setup was really big, and somehow I felt like I'm not at the stage where I could take this up right now, so I would pass. And I don't feel any guilt if tomorrow it releases and if it does really well for them. I just think it wasn't in my path.
That's actually a very nice trait to have as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you probably would have missed something good and it would have become something else. But that, I think, end of the day, a lot of people look up to you, banners and production houses for, sharing their stories to make it a reality. So you're creating an entire ecosystem here, if I would look at it, because directors, writers, technicians. So you're bringing a whole new set of new gen people into the Telugu film industry, don't you think so?
I really hope I continue to do that. At least, I mean, definitely. See, with every film, I can't work fully with newcomers. Now, like my next film is with Vamshi, who's Kamti Kurolu's director. So I don't. I mean, he is. Uh, he was a debut with us, but now he's not. Now it'll be his second film. So in that sense, it's not possible to work with debutants every year. I mean, for every film, but that is something that I want to do for sure. Like probably like one in like a couple of years. I mean, if they're small films, then it depends on that. But the thought of, or the motivation to work with newcomers and like talented and skillful newcomers is something that I always want to do. I want to keep that alive for very long.
That's amazing. So any final note about RaaKaaSaa? As I think it's releasing this April.
Yeah, it's releasing on April 3rd, RaaKaaSaa. I mean, it's a film that I would be really, really happy to watch.
I've been watching the promotions actually. You're doing so many, by yourself. That itself is a big strategy, I think,
Yeah.
You promoting your own film in your own way. I think you're setting up a new system that even before the film is released, before going to the media or whatever, I'm seeing all those cute videos that you're releasing. It's really very nice, actually, a new concept.
Thank you.
I think bringing it out, highlighting the director, the actors. I think even the technicians. I just saw something happening right now in between, so you're not wasting any time.
No. Like because we only have about 15 days now for the release. 15? Less than 15 days for the release. So yeah, RaaKaaSaa is a film that really takes you back to the stories that we used to listen to as kids. But if it is shot in a very like in a fantasy world that you can relate to in today's world. So that I think is a very nice uh, combination of fantasy and comedy and also drama. So it's a film that would give you full paisa vasool.
Paisa vasool it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on DC Conversations.